A.J. Brown might be just one step away from putting on purple and black next to Lamar Jackson, and that changes everything. We're talking about one of the most dominant wide receivers in the NFL landing exactly where Baltimore needs help the most, the passing game. If this actually happens, the Ravens' offense could take an instant leap, the kind that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. But this story isn't as simple as it sounds. There's heavy negotiation, tension in the air, and big decisions being made right now, far away from the cameras. Today, we're going to break down why A.J. Brown's name is shaking things up in Baltimore, what's really happening behind the scenes, and how this move could change everything on the field. Stick with me until the end, because there's one key detail in this whole situation that most people aren't talking about, and it could flip the entire season. A.J. Brown is at a point in his career where he looks at the field and knows he could be used better. He's not upset just because what really bothers him is how the offense operates and how he fits into the team's plans. It's that feeling of, I can do more than they're letting me do. And that weighs a lot on a player who fully understands how good he actually is. Over time, that frustration builds up. Game after game, he realizes his skill set isn't being tapped the way it should be. He doesn't want just a couple of targets here and there. He wants to truly impact games, decide outcomes, be the centerpiece on the fence. When that doesn't happen, the desire to find a new home starts to grow naturally. Brown isn't just looking to swap jerseys. He wants something that fits the way he plays, an aggressive offense, confident approach, and enough room for him to shine. He wants to be somewhere that looks at him and says, you're the main piece here. That need for fit, that identity with an offensive system, is what really drives him right now. And when a player at this level feels like he needs a new environment to show everything he's capable of, the conversation gets big around the league. Because we're not talking about just any receiver. We're talking about someone who changes offenses, changes games, and changes expectations for entire seasons. From here on, understanding who he is and how big his game really is becomes essential. A.J. Brown isn't just a good player. He's proved over and over that he belongs with the best in the NFL. When he steps on the field, you can feel that something big might happen at any moment. He's already been selected to the Pro Bowl 3 times, and that doesn't happen by accident. That's recognition of someone who truly shifts games. He's the kind of player who changes how defenses prepare. Teams know they can't relax when Brown is on the field. He racks up yards after the catch, fights through contact, attacks the ball, and shows up in big moments. That creates respect. And in the NFL, respect opens space for the entire offense. The most interesting part is that he doesn't rely only on speed. Brown brings strength, football IQ, and route savvy to consistently create separation. He knows how to use his body, protect the ball, and position himself better than the defender. All of this puts him in that category of players where you look and think, yeah, this guy can change an offense by himself. Once you understand that elite status, it becomes easier to see why so many teams are dreaming about him. It's not just signing a wide receiver. It's bringing in someone who changes the identity of the entire team. And that leads to the next natural question. What exactly makes him so different physically and technically on the field? A.J. Brown has a build that grabs your attention right away. He's strong, thick, almost built like a running back, but with the burst of a wide receiver. That makes covering him one-on-one almost a physical challenge. Defenders know that if it turns into a body-to-body battle, they're probably losing it. And Brown uses that strength as part of his game, not as a bonus. On top of that, he's got serious leaping ability and great timing on the ball. On high, contested throws, he rises at the perfect moment and protects the catch. That's huge in tight window situations and in the red zone, where space is limited and everything happens fast. He turns tough throws into secure catches. Another standout trait is how he reacts when the play breaks down. When the quarterback escapes the pocket and improvises, Brown doesn't stand still. He moves, comes back to ball, adjusts routes, and makes himself available. That kind of instinct is gold in today's NFL, because so many game-changing plays come exactly from those broken play moments. When you combine his physical tools, technical ability, and his talent for making plays in chaos, you understand why he's so valuable. It's not just about stats. It's about real impact on the field. And that impact isn't only individual, it also reshapes how defenses behave, which takes us straight to the next point.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
When A.J. Brown is on the field, defenses have to respect him. That means double teams, deeper safety alignment, and constant attention to wherever he lines up. Just that alone already transforms an offense. Other receivers get more space, routes become cleaner, and the quarterback suddenly has better throwing windows to work with. Brown also becomes a go-to guy on third downs and critical moments. He's a target you look for when you absolutely need to move the chains. Thanks to his strength and ability to shield the ball, he absorbs contact, secures the catch, and keeps the drive alive. That doesn't just change numbers. It changes a team's confidence. There's also his impact on the run game, which might not seem obvious at first. With safeties backed off to respect a deep ball, the box gets lighter and running lanes open up. In other words, just having Brown in the offense makes the entire system more dangerous. He's the kind of player that lifts everyone around him. And when you talk about instant impact, his name naturally connects to quarterbacks who extend plays and create explosive offense, which is exactly where Lamar Jackson enters the conversation. If A.J. Brown were to land in Baltimore, he'd arrive as the number one option from day one. No debate, no hierarchy battle. He would clearly be the WR1. Lamar Jackson would finally have that big, physical, reliable receiver to throw to uncontested balls. That completely changes a quarterback's confidence in tight window situations. Brown would help on third downs, deep shots, and improvisational plays where Lamar breaks the pocket and looks for someone to get open. Brown knows how to work back to the ball, present himself as a target, and use his body to win the matchup. That fits perfectly with Jackson's aggressive, creative style. There's also an emotional side to this. Bringing in a receiver of this caliber sends a message to the entire locker room. We're trying to win right now. That shifts mindset, energy, and the way the team takes the field. Brown wouldn't just be a signing. He'd be a symbol of a franchise raising its ceiling. And when you put an MVP quarterback together with an elite wide receiver, the picture becomes pretty clear. You're talking about a duo built to chase something big. Thinking about Brown in that role isn't just exciting. It shows how he might be the missing piece to completely transform an entire offense. A.J. Brown coming to Baltimore wouldn't just be another big name arriving. It would be a loud message to the entire league that the Ravens are done waiting and ready to win now. Pairing one of the most dominant wide receivers in football with Lamar Jackson changes how they attack, changes how confident they play, and changes how every opponent prepares to face them. Throughout everything we've talked about, you can see how perfectly he fits the system, how he opens space for everyone else, and how he can become that piece that turns the offense into a nightmare to defend. It's not an easy move, it's not cheap, and it's definitely not guaranteed, but the impact he brings on the field and in the locker room is massive. It really feels like the kind of decision that could define the next phase of the franchise. Now I want to hear from you. Should Baltimore go all in to bring A.J. Brown to the Ravens, or is the price just too high? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you make this move or not, and why? I'm reading everything, and I want to know what you think about a possible A.J. Brown, Lamar Jackson partnership.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.